Before we step into this powerful journey, take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this message. Every click helps spread God's word around the world. Now, breathe and walk with me into the ancient story where God shattered walls not by force, but by faith. The camp of Israel stretched across the plains like an endless sea of woven tents, some large and regal, others simple, patched with the wear of wilderness life. The morning sun rose slowly, painting the horizon with strokes of pink and gold. Dust drifted gently in the wind, stirred by the movement of thousands preparing for a day that felt different. Joshua stood alone at the edge of the camp, his silhouette outlined by the breaking light. His cloak trembled slightly in the cool breeze. His eyes, steady, sharp, and contemplative, swept across the people God had entrusted to him. He inhaled deeply. The air still carried scents of manna and campfire smoke. Yet beneath those familiar smells lay the weight of destiny. Moses was gone, and with him, an era had ended. Joshua often felt the ghost of Moses' footsteps beside him, whispering memories of commands, counsel, wisdom. But now the responsibility of leading this nation rested entirely on Joshua's shoulders. He remembered the voice, the unmistakable voice that had spoken to him days earlier. Be strong and of good courage. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Do not be afraid, for I am with you wherever you go. Those words had become the heartbeat of his courage. Nearby, families awakened. Mothers arranged baskets and clay pots. Fathers prepared animals for travel. Children chased each other between tent ropes, their laughter ringing like bells. Warriors fastened armor, checked spearheads, and tightened straps. But beyond all this movement lay something far more imposing. Jericho, a fortress city, a symbol of unshakable strength. Walls so thick 2 chariots could race side by side along their tops. And now, Israel's first obstacle in the Promised Land. Joshua's jaw tightened. This was no ordinary day. This was the beginning of God's promise unfolding. Behind him, his aide, a young man named Eleazar, approached quietly. "Sir," he said respectfully, "the elders await your instructions." Joshua turned, nodding. "Today we rise," he said, his voice firm. "Today we prepare for the promise." He walked back into the heart of the camp, no longer as Moses' assistant, but as God's chosen leader. As evening fell, the camp buzzed with anticipation. The sun dipped behind the hills, leaving a warm glow suspended over the wilderness. Fires flickered to life, crackling softly as families ate together, unaware of the secret mission Joshua was about to launch. Joshua summoned 2 spies, men known for their sharp instincts and quiet skill. They approached him with disciplined posture and lowered voices. "You will go into the land," Joshua told them, "especially Jericho. Observe everything. Return with truth, not fear." The 2 bowed in agreement. Hours later, under a cloak of night, they set out. Moving like shadows across the plains, their steps measured, their breaths controlled. The wilderness was silent except for the distant cries of night animals and the soft crunch of sand beneath their feet. They reached the Jordan's edge and crossed swiftly. Soon the towering silhouette of Jericho loomed above them, a dark, formidable shape against the night sky. Torches flickered along the wall tops, illuminating guards pacing with rigid discipline. Inside the city, tension lingered like smoke in the air. News had spread through the land. Israel had crossed the uncrossable sea. Israel had defeated kings who seemed invincible. Israel was camped just across the river. Fear hung over Jericho like a storm cloud. The spies entered through a narrow alley and blended into the shadows. They kept close to the walls, avoiding open streets, until they reached the house of Rahab, a woman known by everyone, yet understood by no one. Her home was built into the city wall, overlooking both the street and the outer plains. Rahab opened her door cautiously when they knocked. She studied the two strangers, eyes scanning their faces, clothes, posture. "You are Hebrews," she said softly. Not a question, an observation. The spies froze. Their cover was thin. They hadn't expected to be identified so easily. Rahab continued, her voice lower now. "I know what your God has done. I know this city is terrified because of you." Then she stepped aside. "Come. Quickly." Inside, she extinguished her lantern and closed the shutters. The men sat, tension still coiled inside their muscles. Rahab's eyes flickered with something unusual. Not fear, but trust. "I've heard," she said, "how the Lord dried up the Red Sea for you, how you defeated Sihon and Og. Our hearts melted when we heard it. We know. Your God is God in heaven and earth." Before the spies could respond, pounding echoed through the street. Jericho's soldiers. Rahab widened her eyes. They know strangers entered the city. She hurried the spies up the staircase to the rooftop, burying them beneath stalks of flax. Her breath trembled, but her resolve remained unshaken. Downstairs, she opened the door. "Where are the men who came to you?" the soldiers demanded. Rahab answered calmly, "Yes, they were here, but they left before the gates closed. If you go now, you might catch them." The soldiers rushed off toward the gates, believing every word. Rahab returned to the rooftop. The night wind swept across the flax bundles as she whispered urgently, "Swear to me. When your God gives you this city, spare me and my family." The spies exchanged a solemn, respectful look. "We will honor your kindness," one replied. "Tie this scarlet rope in your window. Anyone inside your house will be saved." Rahab nodded. Tears glimmered in her eyes. Not of fear, but hope. Before dawn, she swung the window open. The scarlet rope slipped down the wall like a crimson whisper. The spies descended quietly, disappearing into the fading darkness. Rahab watched them go. Hand pressed over her heart. Her life, and her family's future, now belonged to the God of Israel. The spies returned to Joshua by early morning, breathless but triumphant. Dust covered their sandals, and sweat clung to their brows, yet hope shone brightly in their eyes. Joshua listened intently as they reported everything. Rahab's bravery, Jericho's fear, the weakness hidden behind its walls of pride. "The Lord has surely given the land into our hands," the spies concluded. Joshua nodded slowly, conviction deepening inside him. God was moving. God was preparing. God was guiding every step. He summoned officers to move throughout the camp. In 3 days, they announced loudly, "You will cross the Jordan. Prepare food. Prepare your households. Prepare your faith." The people reacted with murmurs, whispers, excitement, and nervous sighs. The Jordan was no small river during flood season. Its waters surged violently, swallowing anything that dared cross. Yet Joshua repeated God's command. "The priests will carry the Ark of the Covenant into the river, and the waters will stop." Israel took 3 days to prepare, 3 days to pray, 3 days to pack, 3 days to steady their hearts for the miracle ahead. Joshua spent many hours alone at night, gazing toward the Jordan's restless waves. He wasn't afraid of the river. He feared only disobedience. "Lord," he whispered, "lead us, for without you, we cannot take a single step." The wind brushed the tall grasses, as if God himself answered with a silent assurance. It was time. Morning mist hovered over the plains like a thin veil, blurring the horizon where the Jordan River roared in the distance. The sun had only just begun to rise, but Israel was already awake, Every family, every warrior, every elder standing in silent anticipation. The Ark of the Covenant gleamed under the soft dawn light. Gold, polished to brilliance, reflected the sky's pale hues. Four priests took their positions, gripping the poles firmly, their faces set with reverence and humility. Joshua stepped forward. His voice carried across the crowd, steady, unshaken. "Today, the Lord will do wonders among you." Whispers hushed. Children clung to their mothers. Warriors straightened proudly. Joshua turned toward the priests. "Move forward. Step into the Jordan." The priests exchanged a single glance, one of courage, trust, and acceptance. Then they began to walk. The river thundered loudly as they approached. Its waters foamed white, crashing against the banks. It was a monster alive, wide, wild, overflowing. Yet the priests kept walking, one step, then another, until their toes touched the water. The moment their feet dipped into the river, everything changed. A deep rumble echoed across the valley. Israel gasped as the waters surged, then froze, then drew back violently. Upstream, the river stood like a shimmering wall, rising, towering, held in place by an invisible hand. Downstream, the waters drained away, revealing a dry, sandy path where the river once flowed. A miracle unfolding before their eyes. The priests stepped into the riverbed, their feet sinking softly into the damp earth. They carried the ark to the center and stood firm. Behind them, the waters remained locked back, unable to move until God commanded otherwise. Silence washed over the people. A silence filled with awe, not fear. One by one, tens of thousands began to cross. Elders leaning on staffs, mothers lifting infants, warriors walking with chins held high, children staring with wide-eyed wonder at the towering wall of water reflecting the sunlight like a sheet of sapphire crystal. Joshua walked beside them, helping some, comforting others, reminding all, "The Lord is with us. He goes before us." Hours passed, but the miracle did not fade. The priests remained unmoving, steadfast pillars in the middle of God's miracle, holding the ark, holding the presence of the Almighty. Finally, after the last Israelite stepped onto the western bank, Joshua lifted his hand. "Come up from the Jordan," he commanded. The priests obeyed, and the moment their feet touched the dry land, the wall of water collapsed with a tremendous roar, crashing back into the riverbed, spilling over stones and reeds, returning to its natural course. Israel stood in stunned silence. They had crossed, not by boats, not by bridges, but by faith. As the camp settled near the plains of Jericho, the excitement of the miracle slowly blended into a calm, reflective silence. Fires crackled under the starlit sky. Families unpacked, warriors cleaned weapons, and elders prayed in soft murmurs. Joshua, however, could not rest. He walked alone toward the outskirts of the camp, his steps guided not by restlessness, but by purpose. The soft wind rustled through tall grasses. The moon cast a silver glow across the plains. In the distance, Jericho's towering walls rose like a sleeping giant, cold, unyielding, waiting. Joshua paused as his eyes fixed on the city. Walls thicker than any Israel had seen. Gates reinforced with iron. Soldiers stationed at every corner. "How will this be done?" he whispered. He didn't question if God would deliver the city. He simply wondered how the Almighty would choose to do it. Then suddenly, he sensed a presence. A figure stood before him, tall, radiant, mighty. His armor shimmered like burnished bronze, reflecting heaven's light. A sword, gleaming with a brilliance not of earth, rested in his hand. Joshua instinctively reached for his weapon. His voice steadied as he asked, "Are you for us, or for our enemies?" The figure's answer sent a chill through Joshua's bones. "Neither. I come as commander of the Lord's armies." Joshua's breath caught. He fell face down to the ground, overwhelmed by the holiness before him. "What does my Lord say to his servant?" he whispered. The commander's voice rolled like thunder softened by compassion. "Remove your sandals, for the place where you stand is holy." Joshua obeyed instantly, barefoot on sacred ground. He lifted his eyes. He saw no ordinary warrior. He saw the presence of God's authority, a heavenly being sent to deliver divine instruction. The commander pointed toward Jericho. "See," he said, "I have delivered the city into your hand, its king and its warriors." Joshua's heart pounded. The answer he sought, the strategy he needed, was about to be revealed by heaven itself. The commander continued, "You shall march around the city once each day for 6 days. 7 priests shall carry 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. On the 7th day, you shall march around the city 7 times. Then the priests shall blow the trumpets, and the walls shall fall down flat." Joshua bowed, trembling, not from fear, but from reverence. This battle would not be won by sword, not by strength, not by siege. This battle would be won by obedience, by faith, and by the hand of God. Joshua returned to camp with renewed certainty. The plan was unlike anything any army had attempted. Simple, strange, spiritual, and unstoppable. He whispered into the night, "Lord, your servant will obey." Morning rises early over the valley of Jericho, the sunlight spilling across the plains like a soft amber curtain. Mist hovers low, moving slowly around the feet of the Israelite camp. It is quiet, unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that sits heavy on the air, as though the earth itself is waiting for something to happen. Joshua emerges from his tent with the same resolute calm that shaped him into a leader. His eyes, steady and focused, move toward Jericho's towering walls. Nothing has changed. No cracks, no shifts, no signs that anything from the first march had made the slightest difference. But Joshua does not expect evidence on the surface. His faith is anchored far deeper than what can be seen. He stands before the people once again. The men gather their shields, adjust their sandals, grip their spears. The priests lift the ark onto their shoulders. The ram's horn bearers prepare to walk in silence. No murmuring, no questioning, no comparison to yesterday. Just obedience. Joshua, firm, quiet. Israel, we march. The camp stirs. Feet begin to move. The immense, unified procession falls into rhythm. They move toward the walls once more. From the top of Jericho, guards peer down with narrowed eyes. Yesterday's confusion has become today's uncertainty. Jericho guard, calling down. They return, again with no weapons drawn. A second guard answers uneasily. Why do they march in silence? What are they planning? They do not know that the answer comes from heaven itself. The Israelites complete their march. No words spoken, no shouts, just the piercing, lonely cries of the ram's horns at specific intervals, echoing like a warning carried on the wind. The day ends the same way it began, in obedience, in silence, in faith. The days unfold with a rhythm that becomes almost hypnotic. Day 3. The Israelites rise again before dawn. Jericho waits in tense silence. Israel marches. One full circle. No words. No battle cries. Just steady footsteps and the low wail of horns. Then they return to camp. Day 4. Tension grows on the walls of Jericho. Some soldiers mock. Some whisper. Some are afraid. Inside the city, sleepless nights are becoming common. Jericho woman, whispering through her window. They come again. Why do they come every day? A man beside her stares downward nervously. Jericho man, they plan something. I feel it in my bones. And still, nothing happens. Day 5. Israel marches again. Even the children in the Israelite camp walk without question. Tiny footsteps keeping pace with the adults. Men carry torches at night, their faces illuminated with a steady glow of unshaken faith. Day 6. The walls remain unbroken, unmoved, immense, impenetrable. But Israel's faith is the opposite. The priests carrying the ark walk as though supported by invisible strength. Joshua watches the walls with a contemplative expression of a man who does not wonder if God will act, only when. That night, the camp prepares for rest. But sleep is fragile. Something in the air feels heavy, electric, on the edge of revelation. Tomorrow will not be like the others. The sky is deep blue, filled with stars that shimmer like diamonds scattered by the hand of God. The campfires flicker lightly across the Israelite camp. Shadows dance across tents. Warriors sharpen their blades in almost complete silence. Everyone feels it. Tomorrow is different. Tomorrow is sacred. Joshua stands alone on a ridge overlooking the walls of Jericho. His cloak moves slightly in the night breeze. His eyes are fixed on the dark silhouette of the city. He speaks quietly, not to any man, but to the one who called him. The morning of the 7th day arrives. A golden light stretches over the plains, catching the dust in the air like scattered diamonds. The Israelites rise early, hearts steady and resolute, voices hushed in prayer. Joshua walks among them, every step deliberate, every gaze sharp. He does not need to motivate them. They already believe. The army has practiced obedience for 6 days, repeating each step, each circle, each silent march. The priests carry the Ark of the Covenant forward, their faces lit with divine purpose. 7 priests hold 7 trumpets of ram's horn, each polished to a shine that glints in the sunlight. They take their positions at the front. Joshua raises his hand, signaling silence. Every footfall stops. Every gaze turns toward the city. Every breath is held. He whispers under his breath, "Lord, it is time. Let your will be done." The people begin the march. One circle. The walls loom above, silent and seemingly invincible. Yet, the presence of God walks among Israel. Every step echoes with destiny. The Israelites march again. 2nd circle. 3rd circle. Every step measured. Every horn silent for now. On the 7th circle, tension hangs like a storm above Jericho. Every soldier, every elder, every child senses the moment has come. The priests raise the trumpets to their lips, and the sound cuts through the morning air. A pure, resonant, almost otherworldly note. Joshua's voice rises above the sound. "Shout, for the Lord has given you this city." The people obey. Their voices combine into a powerful roar that shakes the dust from the plains and echoes over the hills. Joy, faith, awe, and obedience explode into a single, unstoppable cry. Suddenly, the walls begin to tremble. Small cracks appear in the sun-baked stones. Dust falls like snow. The ground rumbles beneath feet and hooves alike. The guards on the walls cry out in panic. With a mighty roar, the walls collapse. Stone by stone, tower by tower, the seemingly immovable fortress crashes down into rubble. Dust clouds rise like mountains, enveloping the city in a white, blinding storm. The sound is deafening. The sight is miraculous. And through it all, God's hand is unmistakable. The people surge forward, not to destroy for personal gain, but to claim the victory promised by the Almighty. Amidst the chaos, the scarlet rope still hangs from Rahab's window. Joshua remembers the promise. Go, he commands his men. Bring Rahab and her family out safely. They obey, moving carefully through the rubble. Rahab and her family step into the open, their faces filled with awe and tears. The covenant made in secret, under fear and darkness, has been honored in the full light of God's faithfulness. Rahab falls to her knees. Grateful, Joshua smiles, not for victory alone, but for the righteousness of God's word being fulfilled. Joshua orders the city consecrated to the Lord. Gold, silver, bronze, and iron are collected for the treasury of God. No one is to rebuild Jericho. Everything else is burned in devotion and obedience. Smoke rises like a signal to heaven. The city, once a fortress of pride, is now a testimony to God's power and faithfulness. The Israelites rejoice. They sing. They dance. And through it all, Joshua reminds them, not by strength, not by might, but by faith and obedience, the Lord has given us victory. As Israel gathers on the plains, victorious yet humble, Joshua addresses the people. Remember this day. Remember the walls that fell, not by swords or siege, but by our obedience to God. Our faith has moved mountains, and our God is faithful. Every soldier, elder, and child kneels. Every heart is lifted in gratitude. Every soul is strengthened by the reminder that God's promises are sure. Perhaps there are walls in your life, walls of fear, doubt, pain, or impossibility. Look to God. Walk in obedience. Trust Him fully. The God who brought down Jericho's walls will never abandon those who follow Him faithfully. Faith moves. Faith conquers. Faith triumphs. Joshua lifts his hands toward the sky, and the people echo his prayer. Lord, strengthen our faith. Let your will be done. The sun sets over the promised land. Golden light spills across the plains. Dust settles over Jericho, silent now. The story of faith, obedience, and God's miraculous power will echo through generations. If this story of faith and obedience has inspired you, subscribe, like, and share so God's word can reach others. And remember, no wall is too high, no challenge too great, when the Lord goes before you. Walk in faith. Trust in His plan. Celebrate His promises.